Have you ever wondered how an Ohio State football game comes about? How do teams like Cincinnati, Kent State, and Virginia Tech appear on the schedule? I spent the bye week looking into these questions and wound up getting an inside look at the art of football schedule making at Ohio State.
This is where it all happens. The whiteboard of Ohio State's Executive Associate Athletic Director, Martin Jarmond, who can also be referred to as the Buckeyes football schedule maker.
It was really interesting to me because there's so many moving parts and pieces, and you got to have relationships nationally that helps, and you got to just have a feel for numbers, data, inexact science, projecting out, and it's important.
So what does it mean to be Ohio State's schedule maker? How does Jarmond even begin the schedule making process?
You sit down with Mr. Smith and just get a philosophy on how we want to schedule. What's your strategy? And his that he's outlined is, at least trying to have a top 10 team opponent every year, then a top 25, top 30 type opponent, and then, maybe a top 50 or what you can attract.
With the request of his boss in place, it's up to Jarmond to get down to business.
If I know that we need to get a top 10 team for 17 and 18, I run a list of 15 programs that have consistently finished top 10, top 15 over the last 5 years. I look at their Sagarin strength of schedule, their ratings, and what conference they're in, and I kind of come up with a list of schools.
From there, other factors play a role in the schools upon Jarmond's list. While some are grounded in the facts of the gridiron, others are based loosely on football and more on things you may not even think of.
Alumni base. Do we have an alumni base there? TCU, that's one of our series. We have a nice alumni base in Texas. That was important. We also recruit in Texas. That was important.
It's these factors that help Jarmond to narrow the list. And then
you kind of have your strategy, you have schools you're looking at, and then you say, okay, who can we get?
As Jarmond first started in these constant negotiations, he quickly began to notice something that he never thought was possible.
Most of the time, if it's a school that we're just trying to attract for a home game and we're not going to their stadium, there's not a lot of schools that want to play us. It's not like, wow, we'd love to come to Columbus in 107,000. I thought it was going to be that way. It's not really that way.
One factor that may further inhibit the Buckeyes from getting potential opponents to come to the Horseshoe is the very nature of scheduling in itself.
So if we want to schedule stronger, and there's 70 other teams right now that are starting to schedule stronger, the list of teams, everybody's trying to do that now. You need to go ahead and do what you can do now before, hey, we can't play you because we don't have anything available. And that's really the landscape now. So everything is just kind of accelerated, and you have to kind of project out where teams are going to be.
So how can the Buckeyes protect against poor scheduling so far in advance?
I wish if I had a way to do that, I'd probably be in a consulting business just on football scheduling if you could do that. It's an inexact science, but what I try to do is, use the data as much as I can on where you've been to kind of give us an idea of where you may be.
With so much on his plate, all of these factors compiling into one big meal, does Jarmond ever feel the heat in the kitchen?
There is pressure. There's pressure, especially when it looks like it may not work out. There was I can tell you there was a Pac-12 school that was really attractive, and we wanted to play them, but the year they would have needed us to come out there was an odd year where we only had 4 home games, and so it would have, if it would have flip-flopped the other way, we would have done it.
Sometimes, however, they do work out. Take Ohio State's latest scheduling edition, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Truth be told, we had that ready to go. We thought we had something in place probably a month before, and something fell through, and it was off. Like literally, that series was not going to happen, and we kind of got back going on it. So that one, it would have announced a month earlier if we could have gotten it done.
With Oklahoma, TCU, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas, and Boston College appearing on Ohio State's schedule in the future, Jarmond is very confident in what he's been able to assemble and even has a challenge for the naysayers.
I would say judge us by 2016 and out. You tell me another school right now that has BC, Texas, and Notre Dame in the same year. We've gone pretty hard, 16 and out.